Aber jetzt hat Tristan taking me the SNEAKO, das will ich we don't do this shit, bro.
I was first introduced to you about a month or two ago. So I don't have TikTok, as everyone knows, but people keep tagging me in TikTok saying 3 men who are changing the world, 3 men who are changing boys into men, 3 men who are changing the face of masculinity. And they tag me, and they tag my brother, and then they tag you.
Nice.
So I was like, who is this guy? And then someone sends me a clip of you talking about how all suits are the same. Now, I agree with a lot of what you're talking about, and I really think you're a smart guy for your age. But all suits are the same? What's next? Are all watches the same? Are all cars the same? These tell time cars get from A to B. They're not all the same, bro.
Okay, but this is coming from a brokey.
I had to check you.
This is coming from a brokey. I don't have a bunch of suits. The only time I wore suits was for graduation and prom. You know, I'm 23. I don't be going to business meetings on a regular basis. But come on, you gonna tell me that I can't pull up? I can't get married in this?
When I was 23, I didn't know shit about suits either. So I'll put that out there so everyone knows that I'm not trying to pull the moral high ground on you. No, if you wore that to prom, look, the lapel's wrong, man. You got a notched lapel. That's a business suit. You need to have a peaked lapel if you're trying to be fashionable.
What the fuck is a lapel? What are you talking about?
That, yeah. It needs to flare out more. And the way your shirt sits underneath it is just... You know what? I should have worn a suit myself, but I didn't think we were going to get into this. So it's midnight in Bucharest. I thought, let me just wear a t-shirt and let's have some civil discussion and not bring the suit thing up.
I don't even want to wear it anymore. How do you think that we're 3 men changing? I see a lot of people tag that into in those posts too. How exactly do you think we're changing the future generation of men? Do you think they're right?
Well, because I've grown up with my brother my whole life, and we've always lived together and bounced our opinions off of each other, I didn't realize anything me or Andrew said or thought, or our views on relationships or women were really that outlandish. But the way that he's blown up recently, and I've blown up subsequently, has shown me that a lot of people are just, lost. Because the accusations that come at me and Andrew of being misogynist or mean or cruel aren't really that accurate. I like to think that I promote a very healthy male-female sexual dynamic and relationship dynamic. It's just the whole world's gone so crazy that what I think is healthy isn't healthy anymore.
Yeah, they really hate you. They really hate you. They're preying on your downfall. I think the craziest part is that if you died, they would celebrate. Like there would be people throwing a parade. Like I think in the liberal cities, there'd be people going out and jumping around.
Absolutely.
But if the reverse happened, that wouldn't be the same result. And I think that really says a lot.
No, it does. But unlucky for them, I'm hard to kill. So I don't die easily. I've never died once. So I'm gonna keep that going year by year.
What do you know that the average person does not understand about the elites? I often talk about conspiracy theories, and I try to talk about like the stuff that's really going on. But you're really wealthy, and you've probably been introduced to a lot of ideas and concepts and people who pull strings behind the scenes that the average person doesn't know. What's something that you understand that most people don't?
We're getting into the deep questions already. See, I was unprepared for this, but I'm happy to answer you. I'll be perfectly honest. I do not get introduced to the people who you're talking about because money isn't the only way into that club. I sometimes describe myself when I'm in rich circles as I'm not a rich man, I'm a poor man with a lot of money. I don't have the right parents, I don't have the right political background, I don't have the right education, I didn't go to the right school. Regardless of the fact that I can buy the same stuff they can buy, I'm not in their club. I'm not in their circles. My knowledge on how the elite get around the rules, how the elite live differently, how money buys power is all personal to me. The things I can do now that I've made money. And I just know that these people are doing it 100 times bigger than me because they've got a lot more friends, a lot more connections. But essentially, the rules don't apply to rich people. They just don't.
I'm not trying to call you one of the elites. I don't think you are.
I know.
But what do you know about like what's going on behind the scenes? What do you know about the truth about power? Like one of the messages that I talk about in my stream a lot is that everything is a lie and everything in front of like most things are a scam. Whenever you get scared about something, there's usually somebody making money and profiting off of it. And then that... Like last night I was watching a 9/11 documentary for like 4 hours, and then everyone was realizing like, oh shit, maybe they really lied about all this. Maybe this is really all manipulation. Is there something that you know that the average person doesn't know?
You know what? No, there's nothing I know that you don't know. If you're a switched on individual and you like to look at what's going on in the world from various news sources, from independent of all news sources, and use your own eyes and ears, and you've lived around the world and you've traveled around the world like I have, I mean, mine and my brother's understanding of all of this isn't because we have money. It's just because we've seen the world. I mean, I live on the border of Ukraine right now, and I don't want to get your stream taken down by talking about, the Russia-Ukraine thing, but that's what's happening at the moment. And let me just tell you, this whole Putin's an evil dictator who invaded our country, that is not the narrative of a lot of the Ukrainians who are crossing the border into Romania. They're mad at the United States.
Wait,
and there's a video of me on my Instagram driving up to the border to deliver coats, shoes, clothes, food to the women and kids coming across. But some leftist liberal in the United States will tell me that I'm wrong about the Ukraine situation, which is hilarious because I'm actually hearing it from the Ukrainians coming across the border.
Do you think that there's a spiritual warfare?
Yeah, I think there is. I feel like living in the religious country that I do, being a Christian myself, let he who's without sin cast the first stone. I'm not going to say I'm a perfect Christian, but spiritual warfare, I look at the spread of atheism. I was an atheist for a long time.
Yeah, me too.
You may be, but you know what?
I believe in God now. I'm not religious, but I do believe in God.
Fair enough. And you know what? I believe smart people are smart enough to be atheists. But I look at every society where you take religion away and the behavior of the low IQ and dumb people within that country, and I can't describe it as anything else but Satanism.
Yeah.
Like, it is literally a fight between good and evil. So me and Andrew have a lot of allies and friends in the Muslim world, in the Christian world, in the church. And, I know some very smart atheists, but sadly, not every atheist is as smart as they are. And the moment they give up their religion, they fill it with, abortion and just pure, what's the word I'm looking for? Degeneracy.
Yeah, that's what's happening in New York right now. I live in New York City. Just the stuff that they celebrate. The people are just dancing around and jumping, and they're saying, shout, yell your abortions. They're proud of it. They have parties about it. No, for real. I would think I left the Catholic Church when I was young. I grew up as a Catholic, and then now I find myself returning to God because of exactly what you're saying. The amount of degeneracy going on, the stuff that people worship. The Pride Parade, I don't know if you don't have that in fucking Romania. Here, there's literally people dressed up in like BDSM masks, and they have their fetish kinks on, and there's guys with their dicks out, and then moms are bringing their kids like, look, Timmy, this is woke. This is good. And they think that it's progressive to show their kids this because we've brainwashed people into thinking that showing gay people is making you a progressive parent. And to me, that's just complete degeneracy. You're bringing a 3-year-old kid at a fucking fetish event in the park. And so now I find myself returning to God just for that reason. It's a little bit difficult for me to fully believe it because I think organized religion is mostly for, like what you said, for people to have something to follow. But it feels a little bit forced. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. But I mean, we don't really have the gay pride parades here in Romania. But any kind of, I mean, okay, so the argument against the gay pride parades in Romania that they use is, homosexuality is outlawed by the Bible, etc. Well, to be honest, premarital sex is outlawed by the Bible. Multi-partner sex is outlawed by the Bible. But again, heterosexual men who like to sleep with lots of women, or heterosexual women who like to sleep with lots of men, they don't get a parade. So, like, the fact that anything that deviates from the Bible gets special treatment, to me, is what's insane. Because I don't think we should have a heterosexual gangbang pride parade and have all the guys who like, having sex with women en masse parading down the street in front of kids either. For me, it's not about gay or straight. It's just about what's appropriate to have on your city streets and what's not. And I think the Romanians kind of see it that way as well. But
we've completely removed that, and the West is getting, I don't know how in tune you are with everything, but now there's gender affirming therapists. Kids are at 12 going on puberty blockers. In school they're telling kids like you can choose your gender. They're really pushing a lot of this like trans agenda and the LGBT agenda in public schools and with therapy. Like the cartoons that these kids watch, it's really disgusting. And I've been watching a lot of it on my stream and telling people if they live in America in like a liberal city, take your kids out of school and homeschool them.
Just in the same way that a lot of the most intelligent views on the BLM movement come from African Americans and my African American family members, the best take on the LGBTQ plus community came from a gay guy who I know. I went to school with him as a kid in the United Kingdom. I've known him my whole life. His name's Mark. He's a very good friend of mine. He said, look, I don't like LGBTQ. I'm just G. And I said, why? Like, I could have guessed reasons, but I was like, why, Mark? Why don't you like LGBTQ? He says, because I'm a homosexual man who goes home to my bedroom and has sex with the people I want to have sex with. You, Tristan Tate, go home to your bedroom and have sex with the people you have sex with. But when Tristan Tate says, I don't think you should be transitioning children into the opposite sex using surgery and hormone blockers, they can label me as anti-LGBTQ as though I have any problem with Mark and what he does.
Right.
And that was one of the smartest anti-LGBTQ arguments I've ever heard.
And if you think about it,
and like I said,
why do L and G, why are they separate words? Because aren't lesbian women also gay? Can't you just call it H?
Yeah, I mean, you can.
That's it.
Bro. Alright, boys. Yo, that was AW video, bro.